What's up, everybody? Jeff here, and we are back for some more Through the Breach. This time, we're going to be playing through the adventure Porksplosion, which is actually from the Creative Taxidermy Narrative Adventure Box from 2nd edition. Now, as usual, I will be the Fate Master, and the players are just going to be folks from the community who expressed an interest in playing Through the Breach. So if you would be interested in joining us for a game in the future, then hop on over to the Discord, linked in the description below, and check out the announcements tab for more details on how you can get involved. Everybody's welcome. You don't have to have any experience playing the game, but do note that I give priority access to these games to my patrons. So if you are interested in playing a lot of games of Through the Breach, then consider supporting me over on Patreon. There's a whole bunch of other rewards that you can get on the different tiers, including ad-free versions of the videos and early access to my regular videos. So check that out. It's linked in the description below, along with my Weird affiliate link. If you're going to be making any purchases from Weird, then use that link, and anything that you purchase will be the same price to you, but it will actually support the channel in the process. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and consider sharing it around with some other folks who you think might be interested in it. Watching playthroughs like this can actually be a really good way to learn this system. So if you have any friends who you think might be interested in getting into Through the Breach, and you might want to set up a game with them, then send this their way, and maybe it'll help them learn. But with that, let's get right into the game. All right, and as always, let's start with some introductions. Let's start with Calder.
Right, I'm Calder. I'm playing Mason Barkley. He's a rat catcher. He kind of looks tired and a bit ruffled all the time. Sunken eyes have been a bit more sunken lately for reasons which may or may not be discovered later. He does always try to make himself look a bit presentable when he has to go out. It's a constant battle. If he has to go out and basically do his actual job, he's not going to dress in a suit and tie, but he's presentable when he has to be, basically. Oh yeah, I mean, I forgot the most notable accessory, as it were, is Nibbles, which is his pet rat, which is usually, I mean, Nibbles is more comfortable on his shoulder, breathing the air, but will hide in a bag for a reasonable amount of time before it gets restless.
I can't believe you almost forgot Nibbles, MVP
I
of the last
know.
section and most important character.
Absolutely.
All right, Trey.
I'm Trey. I'll be playing Chet Atkins, the party's token tall person, like a 7-foot behemoth, working as muscle bodyguard, wields a big rail hammer as a weapon.
The token tall person. And last up, Blue.
I will be playing a happily named man by the name of Swamp Rat Pat. So Swamp Rat Pat, normal human guy, either by fate or by accident, ended up in a gremlin village as a child and got raised by the aforementioned gremlins. Truth be told, he saw nothing weird with his family, but nonetheless decided to go out there and do something with himself. But for the most part, he has just been more or less just fishing up anything he could find on the bayou with his with his enlarged trusty fishing rod, Bertha, and his weird magical hat.
All right, very cool. So this week, the three of you were sent on a job by Eclipse down to Edge Point, which is a relatively large town on the edge of the bayou, just south of Malfa City. So Patrick probably feels right at home. You did a relatively straightforward job. It was a little escort mission to bring somebody not too far into the bayou to pick up some, let's say, suspicious-looking crates and then bring them back to Edgepoint. Everything went reasonably well, which is uncharacteristic of an Eclipse job, but, once in a while you get lucky. And you then spent the night because it was too late to go home, and when you woke up in the morning, you all met up and were about to make your way back to Malfa City. So at this point, you have traveled back to the sort of northwest corner of Edge Point, where the train station is, and you all just met up to head back.
Is it late? What time of day? What time of day? Sorry, just
crack of dawn.
dawn.
Early
Sorry.
morning.
Okay, I figured, but just checking. So I basically the previous mission kind of went without a hitch, I'm assuming, which is rare, really, for an Eclipse.
Yeah, shockingly,
I know.
no one No one decided to resort to unnecessary violence. You weren't ambushed by anything in the bayou. It was pretty straightforward.
I mean, maybe
No
that's
front.
down to having kind of a new help who's familiar with the bayou, who was like the guide or something. I don't know.
That just stood there looking menacing, and all of the creatures of the bayou were like, not today.
Yeah. Even the crocodiles were like, no, that guy's bigger than me. No, oh, yeah, it's fair. So this is we have to head to the train station to get back into Malifaux, or can we just walk the distance back into the city itself?
Yeah, I'll say you all woke up and you're headed to the train station at this point. So you're
Okay,
walking
cool.
to the train station that's in Edgepoint, which is then going to take you back to Malifaux City.
I guess we do. I mean,
Sounds like the most logical way to go.
it feels like a trap, but sure, let's wait for the train.
I'm just
I
giving you
find
guys a
that
chance
pretty
to interact or to do whatever you want to do
fair
to
enough.
talk to each other.
I think sort of while they're still a fair bit away from the train station, like Nibbles will stay on his shoulder, but if he kind of has to walk up to the train station attendant and like buy a ticket, he's not gonna like Nibbles will have to go in the bag eventually. But
No, I'll say that you already have tickets as part of
oh, okay,
the
fair. That's
part of the
good. Good
job.
to know. But yeah, still even on, especially on the train, like you know, to kind of like walk in the dining car and be like, "Hey, check out my pet."
Yeah, the main area of Edgepoint is like pretty. It's not quite like downtown Malifaux high class, but it's
Mm,
a little bit, on the fancy side. So people probably wouldn't look too kindly on you having a rat
yeah,
on your shoulder.
yeah.
I mean, like, let's see, 2/3. Let's see, we have a rat catcher and a more or less just a hillbilly in the group. Who's the third guy again?
Very
A wall
tall
of
man.
meat.
So I think we all look like 2/3 of us at least look like a walking health code violation.
Yep. Oh god, ever since like the behemoth became a character, Pursuit is like we always have at least one wall of meat in every party. I'm not complaining because I usually hide behind it, but I just love it.
I, I mean, I can't complain either. My other
Nope.
guys behemoths as well.
Um,
All right, so you make your way through the town, and you get closer to the train station. You can see it off in the distance. Up until the explosion, it had been a pretty nice day. The early hours started off a bit muggy, with a low fog lingering around the ground, but it burned away fairly quickly, leaving a pleasantly warm morning in its wake. A cool breeze was doing its best to keep the humid air from turning clammy, and even the insects that normally drift in from the bayou seemed to be more or less absent. Then, something on the eastern side of the town exploded and threw everything into chaos. Most people dove for cover or rushed to grab their weapons to fend off what could only be a gremlin attack, but you ran towards the explosion in a flawless demonstration of exceedingly poor decision making. When you arrive at the site of the explosion, you find a scorched and blackened gremlin struggling to his feet. Pieces of burnt and singed flesh litter the ground around him, and the distinct scent of roasting pork hangs heavy in the air, making your stomach rumble in hunger. Ugh! The elderly gremlin moans, before looking from side to side as if he'd lost something. Where'd they go? He asks, running a wrinkly green hand through his shocks of gray hair. Oh no, not again.
so short aside, um, like we couldn't have picked like a better party for this. Like we actually have like a gremlin related character in this. This is great. But yeah, carrying on. I think Mason just looks on a bit bewildered because I'm not sure if he's seen the goblin, even though he spent most of his time inside the city limits. So maybe gremlin even. I'm using my words.
Yeah, I think they're common enough that he probably would have at least heard of them and been aware that they
Okay.
exist, but
Yeah.
it's certainly possible that he's never seen one.
Patrick will approach up to him.
Okay, well, with that, that's gonna be the end of the prologue. So if
Mhm.
everybody wants to draw 3 cards and
Mhm.
just lock in your pursuit.
Going full primal again, even if it's not. I just want to keep going on it.
I'll stick with Behemoth for now.
Well, this is my first session with Patrick, so Elementalist.
Nice. Okay, so you walk up to the unfortunate gremlin.
Well, what looks to be the problem here? Whiskey explosion? Accidentally let something on fire? What happened?
The old gremlin shuffles towards you, his hands raised to either side of his head in an obvious gesture of nonviolence. Now that you've got a better look at him, you can see that he's wearing a simple shirt, pants, and a leather apron. All are singed and splattered with bits of half-cooked pork. Excuse me, folks, the gremlin says in a meek voice. I seems to have run into a wee bit of trouble with my pigs. We got ourselves attacked by a rattler. One of them exploded, and, well, now they run off on old Ricky. He attempts a hesitant, friendly smile. I know we don't know each other from the Joneses, but I sure could use some help rounding them up before the rest of them go up.
Alright. Seems like the least we can do.
I think Mason just sort of like flatly asks, "Are they all explosive? Your pigs?"
Yeah.
Th-
Each one of them's packed with enough explosives to... And he kind of like looks around at all the carnage on the floor. Well, I guess do this.
I think in like this, like a moment of the pot calling the kettle black, Mason just says, "Why would you?" Never mind, and just sort of tries to start looking for pigs, or like at least look around for pigs, basically.
When you say why, he kind of like reaches up and scratches his head a little bit. Well, the gremlin's got to make some money, doesn't he?
Certainly, are exploding pigs lucrative?
Well, word on the bayou is that city folk like you would pay a pretty sum for an explosive pig like that. I was meaning to sell all 4 of them in the shop, but now I'm only down to 3, assuming I can collect them all.
Is it like a fairly big chunk of damage that the one pig did? Like, is it like, I mean, are buildings kind of like parts of it missing? Like how much?
So the area that he's standing in is pretty open because it's all you basically have to run
Oh, okay.
across the northern part of the city to the edge of the bayou, more or less. And so there's no like, none of the buildings seem to have taken any serious damage aside from some guts splattered on them. But it does look like enough of a blast area that if one were to explode near a building, it would take the building out with it.
Yeah.
It's basically, a piglet.
Yeah, no, I
With
understand.
explosive with TNT. So
I'm familiar with the model.
Several pounds.
We'll have a look, but before we do, is there something that sets off the explosives, like stressors? Because if it would be nice to know what not to do around the pigs.
Well, that's a good point. Suppose it'd be a bad idea to light them on fire. That'd probably set them
Wasn't
off.
really part of the plan.
Maybe don't rattle them around too much either. You got to kind of be gentle with them, you know.
Will we be compensated for hunting down these pigs?
He looks up at you with a puzzled look and scratches his head. Compensate? What now?
Well,
Pay
he's asking, are you going to pay us?
Oh, well, why didn't you just say so? I suppose,
Sorry, they don't.
I suppose if you can collect all 3 of them in one piece and I can sell them, I might be willing to cut you in on some of the profits.
All right.
Trey, why don't you give me a barter check? Target number 8.
Oh, well.
Great.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, at least we flipped it, not some.
So he's gonna kind of like look down at his pockets as if he was counting money that he doesn't have, and then he's gonna look back up. Compensated. I like that word. Yeah. Like I said, you collect all 3 piglets for me. Make sure they're in one piece. They don't go wasting any of my profits. Then I can cut you in on a little slice of the pie.
Sounds good.
That's fair. Yeah.
By the way, I've been trying to ponder what you meant by exploding pigs, and I think I figured out your problem. They like pigs with explosive flavor, not actual explosive. So that might be your problem.
He's gonna look at you with his characteristic puzzled look. But why wouldn't you want him to explode
Well, you see,
old-fashioned way?
from what I gather, it kind of defeats the purpose of wanting to eat the pig if the pig explodes in your face, killing you.
No. See, these pigs are not for eating. They're for exploding. Maybe you won't follow.
Ah.
He says as if it's the most obvious thing
I
you
think
could possibly.
give-
No, it is the most obvious thing.
I mean, strangely, like given Mason's loyalties, it's kind of like using animals as like in a weaponized way seems reasonable. It's like, no, I understand. I can see that a brief moment of like, this is the first part of the sentence that made sense to me.
You're not a cook. That's where I got it. All right.
No, I'm a
Sorry for the
taxidermist.
Ah, okay.
Can I try to track these pigs because I do have like a fair avian track?
Sure. Give me a target number 7 track check.
Okay, I'm going to cheat in a 9 of tomes because I refuse to. Yeah, consider that a 13.
All right. So the three of you turn towards the town and you start to look around for clues as to where these piglets might have went off to. And there's a few little hints of actual like footprint tracks that head off behind a couple of nearby buildings, which is not really a great sign because it means they're in more populated areas, and if they do explode, it might be pretty bad. You pretty quickly lose the trail of the actual footprints because this area has a mixture of like dirt roads that are pretty hard packed as well as like some rocky. You probably wouldn't call them a path. It's a pretty poor part of this town, but there's enough like cobblestones / rocks that have made up like a something resembling a path that it's doesn't keep tracks from the actual piglets. But you almost immediately hear commotion from people who seem to be alarmed at the sight of these pigs who are probably pretty spooked and maybe also strange looking. So you're able to sort of keep up and kind of follow the trail of the people with a combination of sort of a few people screaming, being startled, and a few people who are just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. You come to a small shack on the outskirts of the town and instantly notice the muddy pig tracks leading up to its partially open door. The tracks lead right inside the building, and as you approach it, there's a crashing sound from within. A single dirty window is set a few feet above the door. I'm sorry, a few feet from the door.
I'm going to walk in.
Yeah, same. And yeah, no, I'll walk in first and I'll see where that heads.
You got to decide among yourselves who's walking in first if you both want to walk in first.
I mean, I don't mind walking in first. I'm a tad bit heavily armored, if that helps.
I do have Beast Whisperer, which kind of like helps me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I'm not sure what I mean. This is just out of character and like metagaming, but I'm not sure whether they still count as beasts or whether they're undead at this point. I'm not sure.
They're probably both.
Yeah,
probably both. It could be both.
It does say that
like
any beast the character meet will not attack me or my allies unless I provoke them. So
yeah.
I think Mason will volunteer to go in first, unless anybody else wants to charge.
Nah, dude, you're a pig whisperer. I'll let you do your pig whispering.
The interior of the shack is dominated by 2 large copper drums that are connected to each other with some dirty tubing. Next to the makeshift moonshining still is a jumbled pile of thick glass jars, all of them filled with transparent liquid. A few have shattered, releasing strong fumes into the air, and a fat piglet that has been stuffed full of dynamite is lapping the spilled liquid up with obvious glee.
Oh no. Make it even more explosive.
Did Chet go inside with them?
I figured I'd take up the rear, yeah.
Okay. So I need each of you in order to take a target number 8 Carouge check. Let's start with Mason.
Is this okay? I think I.
That's
hang
bad
on.
luck.
No, that's not. Oh, what's my? Hang on. I'm discarding a 12 of Rams, which was my best cards. Because I don't want to. Anyway, 414. So yeah.
All right.
At least we're gonna do the ones out of the way. That's
true.
It doesn't help right now, but it's good to know.
Patrick.
All right. What was the target number?
8.
Well, I got it. I don't have a negative.
All
Must
right.
be nice.
And Chet.
It's a 10.
Nice. All right, so you're immediately hit with this intense smell of alcohol fumes, but each of you is able to sort of either shield your face or put something over your mouth so that you're able to breathe, and they don't seem to have too much of an effect on you, but it's probably not a great idea to stay here too long.
Smells like home.
I mean, probably does, yeah. So yeah, for the Beast Whisperer, so the Mason and the pig can discern the general disposition of each other, in brackets tired, hurt, friendly, frightened, whatever, and to pass on general concepts such as wanting to hunt together, asking to pass through territory without challenge, or warning of danger in the area. And I can make social skill tests with the pig as if they were human. So that's yeah, that's the thing I can do now. I think Mason will try to kind of like lean in and like approach the pig. I mean, I assume the pig seems happy having found the alcohol. Like
Yeah, it's getting boozy and just enjoying. Like the expression "a pig in shit" comes to mind.
yeah. Didn't want to be the first to say it, but yeah, I assumed. I'm not sure how to. I mean, can I attempt to? How do I lure it out there if everything it wants is in here? That's
I don't know. You tell me.
oh god. Can I? I mean, okay, this is gonna be. Can I attempt some kind of deception, telling it not to stress too much, but that the his owner is trying to catch him and has caught wind that it's in here, and I'm trying to lead it away from him. Like it's an obvious lie because I'm trying to do the exact opposite, but yeah, using deceive on the pig.
So you can only communicate general concepts. You can't
Oh, sure. So maybe
explain a
just like
thesis to this pig. So you're gonna have to do more than just think that.
just like danger coming, just like a warning, kind of to leave and hide, so we can follow it to wherever it's going next.
Okay, give me a target number 9 deceive check, and I'll note that you got a plus flip to this, but there was already a negative, so it's a straight.
That's fair enough. So that is a 11.
Okay, so as you're trying to slowly approach the pig and communicate this to it, it turns and looks in your direction, and then you see its eyes go wide, and it lets out a squeal. It jumps a few inches off the ground and then runs directly away from you and smashes into the nearby wall.
I think Mason stands there and thinks to himself, I could have worded that better. And continues to follow the pig in hopes of like maybe like kind of relaying at the future meeting that he's trying to help. But right now, yeah.
How does everybody else respond to this pig full of dynamite in a room full of alcohol fumes running into the wall head first?
Well, hang on. Did it break through the wall, or did it just like smack its head into the wall?
Oh no, it just smacked its head into the wall.
Oh, and that then I'm gonna try. I mean, unless somebody else is, I'll let the others go around and then try some homesteading to calm it down. No, this was a terrible idea.
I was thinking maybe you can keep it calm while I just simply grab it.
I mean, yeah, you can try to grab it, or I could try to grab it. I understand a little bit of the art of pig wrestling.
It still looks pretty panicked. It's as it smashes its head into the wall, it sort of recoils and like falls down part way, and then it stands back up, and it looks like it's getting ready to do it again. So,
okay, can I just try to steer the ship away from this and kind of elaborate on saying like that I'm here to help, or like we're here to help?
okay,
Or is
well,
that still a little bit too?
Blue and Trey had some kind of plan they were working on. So, how you guys got to all figure out what you're doing.
I was just going to
I'm saying one of him or I do a grapple.
Well, tell me what you want to do, not what check you want to take.
Well, try to grab the pig.
Okay, who's trying to grab the pig?
you want to grab the pig, or do you want me to grab the pig?
You try.
All right.
And what is everybody else doing while he's going to try to grab the pig?
Brace myself.
Brace yourself.
I mean, like the most of the idea that kind of that as a way of helping this, like the process, like to try to calm the pig down or like distract it somehow.
Okay.
To give like a positive flip in to any capacity. I don't know.
Okay. Give me a... What is it? Husbandry? Yeah. Give me a
Yep.
husbandry check. Target number 9.
Negative flip or just
Nope.
straight?
Straight.
Okay. I do have +3, I think, in that. Yep. So that's a it's a 9, so it does pass, but no trigger.
Okay, and Blue, is Patrick trying to like sneak up on the pig and grab it, or are you just trying to jump on top of it as quickly as you can?
I'll jump on top of it as quickly as I can. If it runs its head into the wall again, it might self-detonate.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
No one wants that.
Give me an acrobatics check. We'll make it also a target number 9.
Number 9? Okay. Well, I have an 8. I was hoping to pocket this. I'm gonna cheat a 11 of rams. So I have a 13 in total.
All right. So as Mason realizes that telling the pig that there's danger coming was maybe not a great idea,
Nope.
and it sort of spooked him, he then tries to calm the pig down using his clear sort of aptitude for animals. And the pig sort of was about to charge into the wall again, a little further away from where you were, sort of testing the boundaries to try to make his escape. As you try to communicate to him that there's no danger and that it's safe, it sort of stops and hesitates for a second. And just in that moment, Patrick jumps across the room and grabs the pig, kind of pinning him down on the ground. The pig kind of squeals and struggles for a minute, but after he realizes that it's kind of no use, that he cannot possibly overpower this much larger creature, it kind of stops struggling and allows Patrick to pick him up.
All right. We got to settle that with less explosions.
And Trey unclenches because the building is still in one piece and has not exploded. Or, I'm sorry, and Chet unclenches.
Kind of
Yeah.
just burlap sacks or like anything that we can put the pig into, because carrying it out onto the streets seems like a possible hazard, or just even bigger way of drawing attention to ourselves.
Yeah, squealing pig is definitely not in the social norms. Hey, big fella, you got like a sack on you? You can carry this pig in?
Don't know if I do.
Does the workshop have anything lying around, like any kind of
Jars
like a
and
tarp?
stills, that's about it.
Uh,
I don't think the pig will fit in a jar.
All right, plan B. Anybody got rope?
no.
I could technically use some of my fishing line. I got some backup in case it ever snaps, if that's all right.
How strong is the fishing line? I mean, we'll find out, I guess, how strong the fishing line is.
Well, it technically is rope, but I call it
Okay.
fishing line.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you're gonna hog tie the pig is what I'm getting here.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not carrying him though. The big guy's gonna carry him.
Do that?
Give me a homesteading check. Target number 7.
All right, this probably ain't gonna go good, but I can still try. Yo. Let's put this over here. Away I go. Hey, that is just enough as I have a -2.
All right, so you bust out this fishing line, and the pig is calm enough that you're able to sort of hold him down and tie his legs up so he won't be able to struggle quite as much, and hopefully not trigger any of the TNT that's inside of him. And you get him to the point where it seems like he'll be relatively comfortable enough that he's not going to continue struggling, but also kind of bound so that he can't get away.
All right. He gently hands the pig to the. God, I wish I could remember names better. The big guy.
Chet.
Yep.
Chet. Big Chet, we'll call you. All right, Chet. Here, hold on to the pig while go get the. I ain't really got the arm strength to keep the holder for too long.
I imagine Chet would just be holding it in one arm.
It's like a fashionable purse.
Full of explosions.
All right. That's one down, 2 to go. All right.
Well, let's keep following the distressed screaming of bystanders. I think Mason just kind of like says very dryly and kind of walks out the door.
All right, I need any one of you to give me a bewitch check. Target number 7.
I have an AV of 1, so I'm not sure if I'm the person to do it.
Say better than me.
Well, I have a -2 to charm, so I don't think I'll get it.
I'm at a negative.
Okay, so I mean, for some reason, the rat catcher is the most bewitching person in this group.
I mean, I can, if you want, I could
No,
try to do it on a. I could try to do it. I could give myself a positive, but it might backfire.
I'll try it. I mean,
all right.
It's 9.
All right, so you make your way back outside, and the commotion seems to have died down a bit, so it's a little bit harder to track where the rest of the piglets might have gone. But you find some folks standing on the side of one of the little back alleys, and you go over and just kind of politely inquire if they've seen anything strange, and they immediately are like, yeah, we saw the craziest thing. There was this little piglet squealing away, running down one of the roads nearby, and they point you in the direction of where they saw the piglet. So you are able to kind of head off in that direction.
I love the idea that kind of we walk up to them asking them like if they've seen anything strange, while Chet is holding the other pig under his arm.
Yeah, the way I had envisioned it, and feel free to disagree, but the way I envisioned it was that Mason was going to walk up to them and ask the question. Once Mason got the information, the other two were going to approach, and they were just going to be like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on here? So they maybe didn't know at first, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll follow where they pointed because,
All right.
That seems reasonable.
You hear the squealing of the pig before you see it, but part of that is just because you weren't looking up. As near as you can tell, judging from the muddy tracks, this piglet somehow managed to climb up a stack of wooden crates stacked next to a squat single-story house in a residential area of the town. Now it's stuck on the roof, wandering around in a circle and squealing with displeasure. Sticks of dynamite protrude from the pig in multiple places, and more have been strapped to its side using long strips of dirty cloth. A small crowd has gathered to watch the agitated piglet, and there's talk about whether or not it's safe to shoot an animal that's strapped with that much dynamite.
Right. So we'll do the beast whispering again, but this time convince it to calm down. Everything is going to be okay. Like it's safe, rather than saying it's dangerous.
Are you gonna climb up onto the roof?
Oh yeah, let's just try. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I say, before the worst will probably happen. But
is anyone else?
Yeah. I think I'll climb on the roof. Chet here, since you're probably the biggest, and if anybody falls, you'll probably be the first one to catch them. Is that all right with you?
Okay, that makes sense.
All right. If anything, I'll whip out the fishing rod.
All right. So you climb up these crates and get yourself up onto the roof with this pig who is already panicking, running around and sort of trying to figure out how to get out of the situation. And Mason approaches, and so you're trying to communicate that it's safe.
It's safe. You can calm down. We'll help you. Like, I mean, as much as I can, like, because I know I have to simplify it a bit for the more kind of like we're friends. Calm down, kind of like that sort of vibe.
Okay, are you trying to do this like traditional, the way you might deal with a livestock animal, or are you using your beast whispering?
Let me check my AVs before. Hang on. I think maybe in this case just the husbandry, because I think this sounds like a convince otherwise, and my husbandry.
I didn't ask you to pick a skill. I asked how you were doing.
I know. No, you know what? I think I'll. He's feeling unreasonably confident enough to do it with the beast whispering.
Okay, so then I'll let you choose between bewitch and convince. Target number 9.
Okay. Hey, that worked. So that's a 12.
Which skill did you use?
Bewitch. Sorry. Bewitch. This is a whole new.
You slowly approach this animal as it's panicking, it's squealing. There's kind of the rumble of people on the ground who are trying to determine if this is safe, and they don't seem to be confident in your ability to calm this pig down, but no one tried to stop you from approaching it. The pig looks like it's about to jump off the roof at one point, and everybody sort of gasps, but then it turns around and sees you standing there. You use your ability to commune with animals to try to convince it that everything is safe, and at first it sort of looks a little twitchy, like it's going to jump or run away again, but after sort of imploring it to trust you, it kind of sniffs around in your direction and then takes a few steps towards you. And it you can see that it's not like super comfortable, but it's calm to the point where it doesn't look like it's about to bolt away from you.
What would it take to I guess sort of would that be a husbandry thing to try and get it to follow along? But I mean that I mean it's not trained to like listen to me. That seems like a bit of a stretch. Do
I
we
don't
have
know. What do you
more
want to try to
rope?
do?
Do we have more rope? I mean, like before I try this, even if it's just like a small little like leash we can put on it somehow. I don't know. I have a belt I could use as a leash if that's um.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I think I'll. I mean, like not aggressively move towards it, like in a swift way, but kind of like try to turn my belt into a leash and kind of like try to use husbandry to I don't know. Oh, Mason always does pack rat treats, which I assume pigs will also. I mean, it's just like bits of food, which I think any animal will kind of go for, and we'll try to sort of beckon it over and try to carefully leash it with his belt.
Okay, it's standing like 2 feet in front of you. Like you could basically reach down and touch it if you wanted to. So I'll say you take out one of these rat treats, and its nose starts wiggling like crazy. It's just sniffing around, and as you reach out to give it to him, he eagerly gobbles it up. And as he's focused on the food, you take the belt and sort of wrap it around its torso. And it's a pretty short leash, like you have to kind of crouch walk to
Yep,
stand
that's
next
fair.
to it. But the pig doesn't seem to mind, but it just seems focused on figuring out where you have those treats, and it's trying to get at more of them.
Mason actually feels like more than a little bad about the pig right now because he knows he can't really save it from the horrible fate that's awaiting. But it's going to make its last few moments, like hours on this earth, a little bit more pleasant, and gives it some more treats and tries to basically carefully get back. Would it be easier just to kind of like? I know Chet can like lift a person off a roof probably, but person and pig, I don't know.
You hand me the pig and then you climb down.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, yeah. So you go over to the edge. Chet's standing there waiting to see if chaos will ensue, but instead you pick the pig up and reach over, and Chet kind of cautiously reaches up and grabs it, lowers it to the ground. Its eyes stay on the edge of the roof. It's just looking up, and its
That's
nose is
fair.
still wiggling like it's trying to get at the treat still, and it doesn't know why the treats are getting further away from it. But you climb down, and
Mhm.
as you walk over, the pig almost pulls the leash out of Chet's hand, in spite of the fact that Chet is a large man with very strong grip, because it's trying eagerly to get at the treats.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the leash and kind of like crouch walk a little bit, and every time it seems a bit more agitated, I just give it more treats, I guess, as we continue along this journey.
Okay, you're gonna have to restock on treats.
I know.
So the people in the crowd are sort of watching this with just their jaws on the floor, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, even by Malifaux standards, this is a very strange situation. But slowly, they all sort of just start going about their business, as it seems that there probably isn't going to be a catastrophic explosion to destroy their houses.
I mean, hopefully.
And that is definitely the hope.
I mean, one Aaron spark, it's still possible. It's still on the
yeah.
table. You notice somebody across the little alleyway there who is smoking a cigar. And
Oh no.
each of you sort of instinctively stays as far as possible away from this person because he does not seem to be aware of the danger.
Did we want to drop off these 2 pigs with the gremlin before going for the third?
It doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Yeah. I don't think you have enough room in your arms for a third.
Right.
I will say that where you spoke to the gremlin is in the opposite direction of where the pigs seem to have been running. So it is going to take quite a bit of extra time if you want to do that.
Let's get the last one. It just Mason has the one that he just got off the roof, and then Chet has the one that he's carrying. So we just need.
I mean, if we get the third one, I can use my fishing rod as a sort of leash tether system.
Yep.
It'll be like the what's the Bayou Emissary? Doesn't
Oh,
it have oh no, that's a gremlin on a fishing pole. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's the treat for the pig.
I mean, I would say this fishing pole is at least like 8 feet long, so it just looks like I have like an antenna on my head with a big old hook at the end of it and rope.
All right, so you're gonna keep looking.
Yeah.
All right, let's have Patrick, who is the only one who's not currently distracted by a pig. Give me what page was it on? Target number 7, track check.
All right, track.
Yep.
All right, so now watch this. I'm gonna find this pig, and there's gonna be no trouble about it. I'm gonna use my showboater talent. I flip it as long as I have no negatives to this flip. I can add a positive. However, if 2 or more cards to share a suit, I take a damage, and I consider to have a margin of failure.
That's pretty good. I like that.
And it's one of the conflict talents. Here we go. Oh, there's a 10 to my track.
Does that put you at a 10?
Yep.
All right, so
Got a positive.
I need you to explain to me how your showboating interacts with you tracking these pigs.
Well, now, more or less, I myself know a thing or two about pigs. Now, we're gonna find this one and bring home the bacon. Now, watch this. I'm a pig professional, so either this really works in my favor, or it just ends badly.
And when you say badly, do you mean explosively or just we don't find it?
No, I mean you don't find the pig, which might end with an explosion retroactively.
All right, so as Patrick sort of excitedly tries to get back on the trail of the last pig, you make your way down a nearby alley away from the area where the people had assembled, and you only make it 1 or 2 turns headed in what seems to be the right direction before you hear a furious barking as an undead animal darts past you in a desperate sprint. Its eyes are bound behind a strap of dirty cloth, explosives are strapped to its back, and it's weaving back and forth in a manner of a creature that doesn't quite know where it's going. A mottled, barking dog is right on its heels, chasing it through the streets of the city at high speeds. It's only a matter of time before the blind piglet careens into something or someone and explodes.
You said a mob of dogs?
A mottled, as in not in good shape.
So a singular dog. Okay.
Yeah, mob of dogs would be more problematic.
All right. So I'm gonna get the pig. You deal with the dog. That sound about right?
Possibly.
I can work with maybes. I can work with yes or no's, but possibly I don't know. I need a maybe, yes or no.
Maybe.
I'll take that as a yes.
Yes.
All right.
Very sigh of yes.
All right. I'm gonna get that pig. You deal with the dog.
So I mean, am I walking at a slower pace due to having to walk low to hold on to the leash, or is it fair to say we can pursue the dog and the pig?
I'll say that Patrick ended up a little bit ahead of you because he was so excited and eagerly sort of tracking the pigs, but you're still, he's only maybe 10 feet in front of you.
Oh.
And as the pig and the dog were approaching, they were making enough noise that you all sort of turned to look in their direction, but they're running past you as this is happening. So if you want to do something quickly, you can try to do something quickly. But it will certainly make it harder that you're holding the leash of this other pig. Interesting note, the dog seems to be ignoring the other pigs.
Can I just and this is just like a plain old human giving a dog an order, tell it to stop and like sit, I guess. I don't know, just whatever you would yell at a dog to. I'm not sure. Like just stay, like that kind of thing. I don't know if that's gonna work on this dog, but I will try.
Okay, so you're going to try to give a command to the dog. What is everybody else doing?
I could try something a bit risky, get the pig to stop, but it's risky.
You have a split
anybody
second
have
to make a
problem trying-
decision, so there will be no discussing it with your friends. You'll just have.
Fair enough. If the pig's gonna keep running,
I mean, out of
presuming the pig's probably
character,
dead.
you can, but I'm saying, like, if your character is going to turn around and be like, "What do you guys think I should do?" They're gone already.
Oh yeah, no, like dying character. I'm not. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna do enough to cause it to explode. Maybe not. I'm gonna try to use some magic on it. Specifically, unfortunately, I only got 2 spells, and hopefully I can only have to do about 1 damage with elemental blast, but I'm gonna try to root it into place. I hope I do just 1. That's the smallest amount I can do. I hope that's enough not to cause it to explode.
I hope so too, because I like this character. I would like to keep it.
So you're targeting the pig, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay, and what is Chet doing?
I guess they got the plan, so I guess I'm holding the other 2 pigs to keep them out of any blast radius.
It'll just be a daisy chain of pigs. Yeah.
I don't think you need to worry about the blast per se. That's only if I get severe. If I get severe, then we have problems.
Okay, so as the animals rush past you, Chet sees that Mason is about to do something, so he grabs the leash from the other piglet and tries to sort of back away. Let's start with Mason. Give me a target number 9 husbandry check with a negative twist.
Oof. That's. No, I can't even cheat that. Nope, that's a fail.
Okay, so you yell out to this dog to try to get it to stop running after the pig, but in the chaos of the chase, it seems pretty focused on chasing the pig. It does not seem interested in whatever you're saying, if it heard you at all over the barking and the squealing, and it just keeps running after the pig. Patrick, give me. So I assume you know how to form your spells, right? So.
Yeah, I know how my spells work. It's going to be the Blast Magicka with the Rooted Imuto. It's going to be a grand total of a target number 7 against its defense.
All right, so it'll be a target number 8 then. Is this a projectile?
No. It's not a projectile.
Lucky you.
Yes, blasts are not projectiles, thank God.
All right, so target number 8.
All right, I need a tome. Let's see if I get my tome. Well, that's not a tome. I'm going to cheat in a 5 a tome, so I have a grand total of 10.
Okay.
So, what was its defense again? The target number?
9.
All right, I'm on a negative flip for damage. Still a negative flip on damage.
Yep.
I hope I don't get the Black Joker, and I hope I don't flip double severe. I asked, and I unfortunately received.
Does the Immuto require damage to have the effect?
Let me double check.
Because otherwise, that's good. It means you do no damage, but it may not have
Any character that suffers damage.
All right, then it does nothing.
Well,
it could have gone worse. It could have been 213.
So you both try your best to stop both of these creatures. The dog is nipping at the pig's heels, and both of you sort of ineffectively yell out or reach out to try to do something, and it seems to have no effect at all. And both of them continue running.
Guess let's keep going after both of them. I think Mason has sort of like the wherewithal to turn to Chet and like look at him holding both pigs and be like, "Are you good to go, or do you need me to take one of the?"
I don't know what I can do about a dog.
No, I mean, do you need help carrying the? And he gestures at the two pigs.
Oh,
Chet is
oh no.
carrying.
Yeah, I think I got them handled.
Okay, good.
All right. So that didn't work. That's obvious at this point. So this is what we need to do. We need to switch jobs. You deal with the pig. I deal with the dog.
Good luck with it. I'll take the pig. Sure.
All right.
So just so you kind of have a sense of what the positioning is here, Mason is 10 feet behind Patrick. Both animals are sort of passing Patrick at this point, and the pig is in front. So the pig will be much further away from Mason. The dog's pretty close to Patrick at this point, though.
I have a feeling that if we stop the dog, the pig will stop running. Bare minimal. So I hope I can try to stop the dog.
Okay. Well, how would you like to try to stop the dog?
Well, since I'm not quite certain I'll be able to cast my magic again successfully, a little bit of doubt in there. I'm going to use my trusty fishing pole to try to get the dog, since it more or less could just tether onto the thing and prevent it from going too far.
Okay. Do you have an attack that you can do that with?
Yeah, I can attack it.
Okay.
With the fishing pole.
Okay. And what is Mason going to do?
He's going to dart after the pig.
All right. And what about Chet? Is he just still hanging back to protect the other pigs?
Suppose so.
All right. So let's have Mason give me an athletics check. We'll do target number.
Target number too high with
No, I want to check how fast the piglets are.
Fair enough.
They're actually not super fast, so we'll make it a target number 8.
Okay. It's a 0, and I can't cheat. Well, no, that's a 0. That's a flat 0.
All right,
a -2.
So you go to run after this pig, and it's spooked enough that it's like really bolting, and with Nibbles on your shoulder, it's kind of hard to really sprint without knocking him off. And you're, in spite of the danger, you're more concerned about Nibbles than you are about this pig. So you kind of go at a steady pace. You can kind of you keep him in your sights, but you're not able to catch up with him in any serious way.
That tracks actually. That's very in character.
I wanted to include Nibbles here because Nibbles hasn't done anything, and Nibbles is MVP. So let's have Patrick. So it's going to take you a quick second to draw this fishing pole, and then I guess you're going to try to sort of tether him with it. Is that right?
It's an attack, more or less.
Yeah. Okay. So target number 9, defense.
Sure, let's go for it. All right, that is not enough for the trigger I need. However, I'm going to use my last card of 4 masks to give you my trigger to pull it closer to me. So I have a 9 in total.
Okay, so a 9, and what does the trigger do? It just pushes it towards you?
It pushes it closer to me by 1 yard. Try to get away from the pig.
Okay, does it also do damage?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's a big old hook on a piece. It's just a big hook on a rope.
Yeah.
More or less.
Okay.
But
so double negative on.
So triple negative. Double negative.
Double negative.
So min of 2 to the dog. But it's moved closer to me.
Okay, so as Mason's trying to catch up with the pig, you pull out this fishing pole and try to snag the dog. You manage to catch it in its like back leg, and it pulls the dog a little bit closer to you. At the same time, the dog lets out like a whimper, and it kind of turns and looks over its shoulder at you with its tail. Its tail had been sort of up and wagging, but its tail is now like directly between its legs, and it kind of hangs its head down towards the ground and tries to like wiggle out of the fishing hook. And once it does, it runs away in the opposite direction.
Well, this just got like more depressing than all the stories we've had about people dying.
I mean, would you rather have a dog get hurt a little bit or blown to bits? Yeah.
That's also very true. Yeah.
Our options were not better.
No,
I mean, the dog's gonna live. I'm just gonna say that. Spoiler alert.
I know,
but the dog's gonna live.
No, I just love that sort of like in a series of dreadfuls where people die in horrible ways, like the dog getting hurt is like kind of like the one thing. It's like, no.
Oh yeah, no, dog more important than human. We
Yeah,
care more about
absolutely.
the dog.
Oh, I didn't really have a better option here. I'm
So-
sure if we'd be able to get.
So now that the dog's barking has stopped, the pig that Mason is chasing has sort of slowed down to a walk, and it still sort of seems on edge, but it's clearly, it can tell that it's sort of out of danger for the immediate moment, and it slows down enough that Mason is able to get closer to it.
I guess same old attempt of trying to say that I'm safe to be around. That seems pretty plain too. Yeah, just saying that I'm friendly and.
Okay, so give me a target number 8 BOS check with a plus.
Thank you. That is a 10.
All right, so you approach the pig, and it pretty quickly stops walking and kind of turns to look at you. And as you communicate with it, its posture sort of softens, and it even takes a step closer to you as you approach, and seems pretty comfortable around you now that the dog is gone.
Realizing that I'm probably out of snacks at this point because the previous pig has just really gone to town. But well, like I'll try to carefully move, like in a no sudden movements kind of way, like move towards it to try to pet it and kind of like get it to I guess calm down for long enough for somebody to get a rope.
If you want, I got a bit of jerky. If that helps.
Well, you try. I mean, if you've got the fishing line, like the rope to do something with.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'm gonna put some jerky on the end of the rope.
Are you trying
And
to
just use that
up the pig or just lure it toward you?
lower it, more or less. Just have the fishing rod just situated above me, and just have it dangle in front with the jerky, and have the pig follow that.
Okay, yeah. As soon as you approach and the pig gets a whiff of the jerky, it immediately turns away from Mason and starts happily trotting towards the food to try to eat it.
All right. I hope you two don't have a problem with this.
With the ethics of pig handling.
No, the ethics of using pork-based jerky.
Oh,
The pigs really don't care, and I don't think humans at this time would care either.
no. I think even in real life, pigs don't care. Like, but yeah. Anyway, read that somewhere. So that should be all of them, and if we can get them back there.
Are you gonna restrain this pig at all, or are you just kind of gonna keep luring it around with the jerky and not letting it eat the jerky?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Which?
Luring it.
Okay, so you're just teasing this poor pig.
They'll get the jerky at the end. Believe me, I give it a last meal sort of thing before it's sent off to be a weapon.
All right, so you're pretty quickly able to get the hang of like how close to put the jerky to keep the pig's attention, and it continues to chase after the jerky in spite of the fact that it is always pulled away at the last minute.
More kind of like insist on kind of he feels bad for it, but he's kind of like grown a little bit attached to the pig that he got off the roof, and he. I mean, if he can muster the strength to like lift it, he will, and if not, then he'll just like walk it by the belt leash. So we've got kind of like the 3 pigs between us. It's equal divvying up of pigs among.
Yeah, so
David.
I'll say you're able to make your way back through the city side by side, each of you wrangling a pig in a different fashion, and all of the onlookers are just giving you a combination of like horrified and astonished at like the very strange spectacle of the 3 of you. You're 3 strange looking people to begin with, but add the pig shenanigans, and it's a sight. There's several children who seem to be very entertained by this, and they're sort of following you following along with you guys and playing games and talking about how they want to get pigs of their own. But pretty soon you're able to make it to the other side of town, and you see the gremlin taxidermist that you met earlier. As soon as he sees you coming, his face kind of lights up, and he starts heading in your direction. Well, darn it, you guys did it. All three of them. And in more or less one piece.
Yep.
What? Just idle curiosity. What set off the fourth one?
I told you before, I got attacked by a rattler.
Ah, snake.
Serves the rattler right. He didn't make it out. He made it out much worse than I did. I think there's a bit of him over there and some over there. He starts pointing to the little pits of cooked bacon and apparently snake guts. I wouldn't recommend you guys bite any of them either. You'll end up just like the rattler. And he gives a little chuckle.
Yeah.
He's gonna eagerly approach each of you and collect the piglets from you.
It's like a breath of sort of relief of tension, like from Mason to finally be away from the explosive pig.
I mean, you're still in the blast radius.
I know, but like
away.
I'm no longer holding on to the grenade in particular.
Well, what was that you said there? Compensation? Is that right?
That's right.
He's gonna reach down into his apron that's still got a little bit of pig guts on it, and he's gonna pull out a handful of guild script, and he's gonna count out 6 script and hand it to you. I think that should be a fair finder's fee.
That's fair.
Just to clarify, is that 6 split between all of us, or
Yeah, he just gives you
That's
script.
split. Yeah.
Are you gonna share it with the class?
I think we should. Yeah.
To be clear,
I
he hands
mean-
it to Chet because Chet was the one that asked for compensation.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. yeah, I'll split it evenly.
He's gonna watch you with a smile as you pass out the 2 script to each. Well, I think I'll be headed into the market and see if I can make some of my money back. But I appreciate your help.
Have you been selling these for a while?
Nope, first time.
Huh.
But if you ever have need of an explosive pig, then you know where to find me.
I'll make a note. And I
Maybe
think
not.
it also, like, internally, Mason makes a note of if there's any news tomorrow about an explosion in the marketplace, he'll know what it was.
Probably know some people.
I would definitely recommend that if you see any of them guilds coming towards you, I would say split. They're not really fine with people selling explosives, unless you sell it to them, of course.
He listens
I'm
very intently as you explain that. Well, that's good advice. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks. I'd heard some things about those guild folks. I've been steering clear of them anyway.
Yeah, that is probably in the best case of survival.
Luckily, they don't seem to spend much time down here in Edge Point. And with that, he's gonna grab the 3 pigs and start marching back the way you guys just came. And that is it for Porksplosion, or Creative Taxidermy. I don't know which is actually the name of this adventure, but either way.
When you said rattler, I assumed the end boss would be like a rattlesnake rattler, and that.
Oh no, he did. I want to send a huge thank you to the extremely cool kids tier on Patreon, the Steam Proud Scoundrels, Dogmatize, Devin, and the Spilled Paint Pot. And thanks for watching. This is the only pre-written adventure, or this is one of 2 pre-written adventures I had run before we started this series on the channel. I actually incorporated this into the campaign that I ran in the past. One of the characters was a psychopath, because of course, and as soon as the dog was chasing the pig, he was immediately just like, I draw my gun and shoot the dog.
Oh, God.
And for the rest of the entire campaign, everyone felt different about that character. because he just shot
Yeah,
the fucking
I
dog.
would.
Yeah, it was so funny because he was just like, just straight face. He was just like, all right, I draw my gun and shoot the dog. And I was like, wait, you're really just going to shoot the dog? He's like, yeah, shoot the dog.